Hey guys, welcome to Terrier Talk. This week we are talking about engagement first. Okay? Modern dog training, or good modern dog training, relies primarily on positive reinforcement. Okay? I'm not here to have a debate about, punishment in training and where is it useful, where is it not useful, all that sort of stuff. Should we or shouldn't we even be doing it? That's not what we're here to talk about. But any good dog trainer these days, and I'm firmly in the camp of believing that you are either a good dog trainer or a bad dog trainer. And there are good dog trainers that use like all types of methods, and there are bad dog trainers that use all types of methods. Doesn't really matter what camp you identify with. You can be good or bad in either one of those camps. You know, if you're good, that engagement is the most important thing, okay? Back in the old days, years ago, it was all very much about depriving the dog of something in order to get them to do what you wanted, and or simply forcing them or compelling them into doing it, right? It was just like, right, you're going to do as you told, dog. I'm going to pull up on the lead, I'm going to push your bum down, and you're going to sit. And I'm going to teach you to sit by making you learn that you can avoid my physical pressure by doing it, okay? If you just sit when I tell you to, I won't force you to do it, right? That's how we did dog training. If you pull on the lead, I'm just going to yank you on the neck, and I'm going to pull you back and put you in position, and you can avoid that by doing what you're told in the first place, okay? You can get affection from me. I'm not going to give you any if you do what you're told, yeah? So it's very much a negative reinforcement slash like compulsion mindset. The dog will just do as it's told. And it hangs around still in dog training, like I've had comments on my social media where people have said, you're using rewards, therefore you're not a good dog trainer. Literally, people have said that. If you're using a reward, the dog, you're just bribing the dog, yeah? You're only successful if your dog will just do it. Because you told them to, that's the attitude, that people have, or some people still have. Now, my response to that is quite often, well, okay, your boss at work is now just going to say to you, you're just going to turn up and do it because I say so, and I'm not going to give you a wage packet. And how do you feel about that? Often change people's mind. But coming back round to where we started, engagement and motivation for some sort of reward is crucial before you then try and teach things, okay? When you're first, when you're a kid, you don't understand money, do you? You don't have any concept of it, and it doesn't matter to you. It's irrelevant. Like, somebody could, when you're 2 years old, somebody could, drop £1 million in cash in front of you, and you just be like, not interested. I want to go and, jump in this muddy puddle or poke a stick in a tree or something. Yeah, because that's what's important to you, because you haven't learnt the value yet of money and what that money can achieve for you. And that's sort of what, motivation for the dog is like, right? In the early days, they don't necessarily have any, although they may well have motivation for the basic things of life, like food and stuff, but you haven't necessarily built any of that in your dog, yeah? You haven't taught them the value of the currency. You haven't said to them, look what I've got and what I can give you and what I can do for you, and you can get, such all these positive outcomes and control your environment and get what you want from me by doing these things, and we can have this exchange and we can have this great relationship. That hasn't been taught to your dog yet, okay? And because being a terrier, they can get that from the environment without you. They don't need you to get the stuff they really, really want. They can go off and chase the, neighbour's cat, and that's got nothing to do with you, really. If you step into training and you start trying to say to them, okay, I want you to do this and I want you to do that, and you haven't built engagement with your dog and motivation for them to want to earn the thing, whether that be food or toys, the most common things for a pet dog, or you haven't got savvy with, controlling the environment so that you can give them the environment as their reward, you do this thing and you can go off and chase the bird in the park. You do this thing and I'll let you, pee on the tree or whatever it is that dog has a huge motivation to do. If you haven't established that with your dog before you start going to try and teaching them things, you're on the back foot. Yeah, you're the boss that nobody likes. You're the guy who is never going to give anyone a pay rise. Yeah, that's you. So engagement first training is really, really important, and it's the step that so many people miss, And it's the step that dog trainers don't miss, and the reason why when people see how motivated our dogs are, and they go, my dog's not that motivated, right? And you're like, this dog didn't turn up any different to your dog, okay? Sure, dogs, turn up with a different level of intrinsic motivation, but if you have a terrier, I promise you, they have motivation, okay? They're a motivated breed. There are things they want to work and the stuff they are motivated to do, right? It's there. You just have to switch it on and turn it into the things that you want to have so that you can get the behaviour that you need for your dog. Now, I'm not a dog trainer who's all about dictating for their dogs, okay? Especially not terriers. I hate micromanaging them. It ruins their life as far as I'm concerned. They really want to be independent. That's one of the biggest motivators for a terrier. If you can provide them independence and give them independence, you will go a long way to making your dog really happy. But that comes at a price of them being able to do certain behaviours in order to gain that independence. And to get them to do those basic behaviours, not pull on the lead, do some recall, hang around you, like not go off and chase a neighbour's cat, for example, you have to have currency and you have to have something that they want. Okay, as brutal as that sounds, if you don't have control of the thing that they want, they are not going to do stuff for you, yeah? And that relationship will strengthen over time and you'll get past that kind of like transactional stage because you'll just start to work with each other, but you have to start somewhere, yeah? Once you've been in a workplace for a couple of years and you really like the boss and you have done this job and you get a lot of reward out of just doing the job, you're probably still going to expect wages, but if that, the boss of that job taps you on the shoulder and says, look, I just really, really need you to do this little bit of overtime, or could you just step up and help me with this thing? It's a bit extra over and above, but could you do it? If you really like that boss and you've been in a great relationship with them and they've always paid you on time and they've been clear about the rules and all that sort of stuff, you're going to do it, yeah? You're going to step up and you're going to go out your way and you're going to help. If that boss has, been late with the wages, is, unfair, doesn't give clarity, you don't have a good relationship with them, and they say, can you just do this overtime? You're going to say, nah, sorry, mate. I've got this thing on tonight and I can't do it. Whether you have or you haven't, you're just not doing it, are you? And that's what we need to build, okay? And that's what we need to build with our dogs first, especially terriers, because the environment is so self-rewarding to them. And that's what people miss. So thankfully, what you'll find is inside Terrier School, there's a couple of very simple courses that are going to help you with that. They're going to help you with building motivation for food. Even if you have a dog that likes a treat, okay? They're sort of naturally food motivated, which a lot of dogs are, which a lot of terriers are. Like you present them with a treat and they go, yeah, what do you want me to do? Great, I'll sit, I'll whatever. I would still go through this course, okay? A couple of reasons. One, you're going to teach your dog to choose to ask for reward, right? Which is way more valuable than you just saying, here, do this thing and get this, okay? That's what's going to take it away from that transactional, you do this, I'll give you that, to your dog being able to offer and earn reward for their own choosing and in their own way, okay? You're going to hand the control to your dog and you're going to say, you do these behaviours and I will give you a reward. You can earn it, right? It's not just going to be given. It's not going to be a transaction. It's going to be your choice to earn that reward. That's where the magic comes, yeah? Especially with an independent terrier. So that's your building food motivation course. It's really, really inexpensive. It's a simple course to go through, but it's a foundation that is just going to skyrocket your training, okay? There's also a secondary course about markers, which is giving you clarity in your communication with your dog, yeah? Okay, you're going to become that boss that you worked for who was always fair, who always told you what was going on, who gave you a heads up every single time, made sure that everything fitted in with your day, didn't mess you around at the last minute, and didn't send you confusing emails contradicting each other about what they actually wanted from you. With markers, you can turn into that good boss, yeah? That good person who did that for you. Those two courses combined, super inexpensive, not much to watch, not a lot to actually do in terms of, hours worth of training, just simple repetitive stuff that's going to build that fantastic base relationship with your dog, yeah? And it's all through food, it's nice and easy, and it's perfect for pet dogs. If you get a bit more advanced with Terrier School, we'll layer in some play on top, and then you'll be really kicking off. But those 2 little courses, I promise you, while you may look at them and think, I don't need that. My dog's nicely motivated. My dog likes a treat. If I ask them to sit, they take a treat. Brilliant. I've taught them paw, whatever it is. I don't need these markers. I'm not a professional dog trainer. I promise you, it's simple, it's easy, and in combination, those 2 little inexpensive courses, when you lay the foundations, will give you a dog that wants to work for you and is loving the work and is enjoying it, yeah? And you will have that dog where people go, God, your dog pays you a lot of attention. Wow, your dog's motivated. Yeah? You'll have that dog. Right, you'll have a dog that looks like a dog trainer's dog that's going, boom, what are we doing today? Let's do it. Come on, human. Let's smash out some training reps, because they want to do it. That'll give you that foundation, okay? You, instead of being the person that's kind of standing there going, oh, can I, look, I tell you what, you come here and I'll give you this chicken, all right? It's going to get you out of bribery, and it's going to get you into that fantastic relationship with your dog. Simple and easy and very inexpensive. Probably not the most exciting courses, but definitely the most important ones, okay? So that's it. Engagement first, motivation first. Don't worry about training your dog new stuff until you've got that. Because once you've got that, it's going to make everything else way, way, way easier. See you next week.